And then I found out he lived in Burbank, and then we start BSing about old times and about, I went to this scout, and you
we
were.
were in the same Boy Scout troop.
And then later on you found out that Suzanne grew up in Burbank too.
I
It's
didn't
a
know that
small
either.
world.
You grew up in Burbank, so did I.
Yeah, this is a small world.
I grew up on Congo Street.
Bahanga?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's
But the house got there when we turned it down already.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think
his
about
parents, his brother lived right down the street from me. That's how I met him.
Very cool.
And I used to stay down there like 10 o'clock at night, and my mom used to be going, "Hey, it's bedtime. You're supposed to be ready for school." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it is 10 o'clock."
Where'd the time go?
Especially when you're having fun.
Exactly. Thank you, Russell. Hey, Kathy, did you want to share anything?
It's been, what, about at least almost 14 years, I think.
Oh, I think it's been more than
Maybe
that.
more? Okay.
Yeah.
As one gets older, it's hard to keep track of
Yeah,
things,
I
as
think
you know.
we're at sort of like about 15.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
And what can I say? You're just one of those rare people in the world who are just super caring about everyone. Unconditional caring and love.
Don't say that.
And I haven't had anything to drink even. But I know Brian has just really gained so much from this experience of knowing you and having a chance to volunteer with all these wonderful people. And we talk about a great group. If you could pick them yourself,
Yes.
this is the group.
That's right.
And the fact that
Oh, you didn't know I handpicked everybody?
I figured you did.
That was a wonder.
It's just been a wonderful many years. And our friendship will continue. And thank you so much. As you always say, when you sign things for my best, well, you are the best.
Oh, thank you.
And the best too in your retirement years.
Thank you.
It's just beginning, as they say.
Yes, next chapter. Now, my supervisor is Nancy over here, sitting quietly. Did you want to share?
Sure, of course I do. First of all, my name is Nancy, and I just want to thank you for inviting me to this party because it's been such a pleasure. And all these years that I've known Kathryn, I've never been able to attend one, and it's terrific.
The last one, yeah.
But seriously, since I've been working directly with Kathryn for the last 2.5 years, well, at first I wondered, how is she going to adapt to sitting at a computer for a day? You know, just working with figures and doing the work that we do.
You know what Russ said? She didn't.
Well, she made a good effort.
Yes.
And she did a fantastic job, as she does with everything else. She got into the work, and she's terrific. And talk about being competitive. She refused to have less work
Yes.
than the others in our department who work.
Bernard! Grab yourself. I recognize Nancy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
my gosh.
It's been ages.
It has.
Hey, Bernard.
Anyway, thank
Hey
you
there.
very much.
No, you can finish. I just want to say hi. Hey, good to see you. Grab some food.
Hi, how are you? This was on the
Anyway, she just, even though she worked with you in your groups and doing everything that she did, you know, certain mornings of the week getting together in the library with the volunteers.
Friday.
She refused to have less work to do in our department than the other folks who didn't have this extra responsibility. So I applaud her. And I just have to say how much we will miss her too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
retirement.
for those of you who, don't recognize him, because this is Bernard, and Bernard was a volunteer for a long time at Family Focus. Okay, hard worker. And it's really nice to see him come, because it's great. And for everybody, I mean, Palmdale, Sacramento, taking off time from work. Very, very cool.
We're not at that
Awesome.
stage yet.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not at that stage yet.
I am fine with this. I
thought he would be a special guest for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. So, I'm going to share a little bit for everybody. One is, I've been here at this regional center since when? Anybody know? When did I start?
23.
Oh, almost, a little further.
Since 1989.
1989.
89.
Darn straight.
Wow.
And before that, I worked at another regional center, Retirement Regional Center, which John was with for a while.
I was too.
And Suzanne, go figure, it's a small world.
Wow.
Okay? So, it's been a long run. And for a long time, 7.5 years, I was a service coordinator. And I worked with a lot of different people in group homes and who had children or were thinking about having children. And I think one of the ladies I worked with had 6 kids. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. And she said, yes, but my mom had 12. I said, you know what? That's a small family you have now. Now, I've met some of her kids and they said 6 is too many. They're going to keep it down to 2 or 3. Okay. But, you know, you meet a lot of different people along the way. And it's very nice. The last little while has been a bit tough. You know, regional center's budget is puny. And you have to stretch. And sometimes when you stretch too far, you're going to break. And before I have any major health issues or problems, it's time to move on to another chapter in my life. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to miss everybody and everything. And if I wasn't stretched so far for a while, I'd still be here. But you know, sometimes you can only do what you can do. And when I sign my name to things, it's really important that I'm proud of it. And if I'm not, then that's not a good thing for me. That's not a good thing at all. My first job when I was in college was a motel maid, and I was darn good. Did that job for 1.5 years, and what I learned is I was going to stay in college because I did not want to be a motel maid for the rest of my life. Okay? And my second job was Continental Nut Factory, and I was at the end of the conveyor belt, and my official title was Nut Inspector.
Nut?
Oh my goodness. So proud. Oh my gosh, hated that job. Conveyor belt. But I had a friend who worked in the tomato sauce factory. Do you know what she had to get from the conveyor belt?
What, tomatoes?
Rotten, squished tomatoes. Do you know how rotten tomatoes smell? Yeah.
That's messy.
I was like, the nut factory is better. Okay? I was even an Avon lady for a little while, and I loved that job. That worked for me. I like makeup and I like looking good. That worked. Okay? But, you know, at every job I did, I wanted to do a good job. So when I was a motel maid, I wasn't a halfway motel maid. I did it right, you know, and the same for everything. That's just how I do things. And I'm not going to change at this age to start saying, no, you don't have to be that good, you know?
You don't need to slack off and look.
Exactly. You know? Now I'm gonna, you know, have to work part-time in a little while, but part-time sounds so good. And I'm gonna do some mini trips up and down the coast because I love the beaches and I love the ocean sunsets and I love clam chowder and I love oysters and shrimp and pretty much all those kinds of things. And some sourdough French bread. Oh. Okay, and as we're talking Ghirardelli chocolate up in San Francisco, because I grew up in the Bay Area.
Oh.
I gotta get there too. So I'll be doing some little mini trips along the way, and I will keep people posted on what's going on. Okay. But, you know, the other day I was looking at my house and I was going, oh, I gotta take care of this, and I gotta do this. And then I went, I'm gonna have plenty of time to do that in a couple weeks. I'm putting my feet up and making a phone call. Okay? Now, Daniel was invited here, and I'm going to laugh because this is just Daniel's life. The other day he hit a big roots of a tree under his car.
What?
He doesn't have a truck. And basically he heard this horrible sound afterwards because the undercarriage had snapped and was sparking along the road. The reality is it's going to cost some money, and you know he doesn't have any, right? Okay, so that's just like a no-brainer. And so he has to work out, you know, an estimate and all that stuff, and then he's got to come to me and request a loan, and we got to figure out like how much he's going to pay back in blood, sweat, or tears, I don't know. And you know, he just has life issues that happen on a regular basis, and he doesn't have the experience yet to sort of figure things out, and his friends don't either. There's a reason they're his friends. They're nice guys, but they're not independent either. They, you know, they go to mom and go, you know, please, please.
I need $200.
Yeah, well, the undercarriage and the stuff, it's gonna
Don't cost more.
Oh, yeah, we're talking
It's
over.
gonna cost $2,000.
No, don't say that, but I'm thinking it will be probably about $1,000. And I'm, you know, so we'll see how that goes. But he called last night to say he was very depressed about this, and he really didn't think he should come here. And I told him he needed to keep his depressed attitude away from me when I was celebrating and already going to be emotional, and he agreed. So that's just how it works with him, and you know, you just sort of have to get used to. He's sort of drama, you know.
You just have to deal with his attitude and work around him.
And then he's as sweet as can be and everything, and we do really well when we don't live under the same roof. It works great, so much better. Yeah. So, anyway, he just needs some extra support and help, and if you guys could put him in your good thoughts in a positive direction instead of that
Negative?
Yeah, that I just want to wrap my head around a tree or something. You know, again, the drama. Drama. When they say ladies cause a lot of drama, they don't know some of the guys.
Amen.
I mean, it's not everybody, but there are some people that, and I think when you're 18, there's just a lot of drama. It's all the first things in life. You know?
It's not today, it's the men too. They will cause drama too.
You're right. So anyway, just wanted you to know he did think about us, but he's got other things that are more pressing to him right now. So let me tell you about Paula and John. Because I remember meeting at a conference up in Sacramento, and then later meeting you guys and going, didn't I see you guys in Sacramento? What? How's that possible? And it's a small world. That's how it's possible.
Yeah.
You know? And then Brenda came along. Oh my God, you were so cute. Still are. You know, and she's just been wonderful. And it's been wonderful to see her grow up. And, you know, and I did use the heck out of you every time you came. But, you know, I saw the abilities, and I was like, come, how much longer will you be able to stay? Yeah, so it's wonderful. And, you know, it's nice to see you, you know, becoming an adult. Like, not long from now, huh? Oof, it's crazy. But it's really nice to see, and, you know, to hear about you and all that stuff, but you just have to keep in touch from time to time. You know, it's all I can. Now, Paula had hip surgery and then came back to volunteer. John's had so many bouts with his shoulder and his neck and his this and his that. I mean, the guy is not that old that he should be having this many problems. But he's just worked himself to death. And he is such a solid guy to be there, and you can always count on him. And he figures things out. You know, when Russell was saying that you and he, you know, you figure a way around something or share your experience or share your insight and ideas. And even when he wasn't volunteering, John would do that. Paula has always been the doer.
Go
you know?
get her.
Yeah, let me fix this, let me make that, let me do that.
And
John
she
was more the, let me see what kind of research I can do. Let me see how I can figure this out. The tinkerer, you know? And they work as a very good team. And it's been really nice to see that over the years as well. You know, thank goodness. Now, Destry, you know, this guy does a lot. He is a true self-advocate for himself and for other people. And he did a speech for our last conference, which was great. And you're one of those go-to guys also.
Yeah.
You know, you make things happen. And I think that's awesome. You know, and it's been nice to get to know your girlfriend, Claire, and see the way you guys interact and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been lovely. And at New Horizon, you know, you're a leader, but you're a leader with a self-advocacy whole movement. And to me, that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Now, Kimberly, you know, I remember firsthand is a little bit different than she does. Now, she had an ex who has since passed away, and we're very sorry about that. But I went to her home, and I got to see a video of them doing protests and fighting for people with disabilities for transportation for the MTA buses. And her ex actually, I love this. I love this. Her ex actually got down on the ground.
Oh my God.
Put a blanket underneath the MTA bus and scooted himself under the bus. And then Kimberly and a number of other people had these big protest signs.
Correction, it was a Greyhound bus.
Greyhound? Okay.
Mm-hmm. The
Thank
first
you.
protest I ever did was a Greyhound bus.
Okay. Is that the one where he was underneath it?
Yeah, him
Okay.
and another guy, 600
Yes.
pounds.
Yes. Now, to watch the video of this in their home, I was like, whoa. You know, whoa. And Kimberly was right there with the signs and the, you know, and the chants and everything. I'm like, okay, we're talking hardcore here, okay? When they say they're gonna fight for something, they mean it. And I was just like, wow. And then later on, we did all this work for you to have a respite person to help you at the conference. And I'm gonna tell you, many, many phone calls. Many, many things to make sure we got this funded and paid for and everything working. And then we get up there and not a dang thing worked. It was like we hadn't done all those days of work. And she's right. You know, it's like, I think about 1:30 is when you got to bed.
Yeah, about 1:30, almost 2.
Yeah, you know, and it happens. But what I remember is, oh my God, her hair is so long. How the heck am I gonna not hurt her when I comb it out? There's no way this is gonna be good, you know? And it turned out okay because she had a good attitude. If she had been grumpy, we would have been in trouble because she has a lot of hair now, but she had a lot of hair then. And then I asked her, so why do you have your hair so long? And she had a story of that, you know, when other people took care of her, she didn't have the opportunity to have long hair. So for her, long hair was independence. Like, okay, but you know, don't cry too much as I'm combing it out.
Yeah,
No.
but you know what I've heard since then? Years ago, when I was being interviewed by an IHSS worker for what my needs were, I noticed something. All of a sudden she said, "You have long hair, so you need extra time for that." And I said, "You mean to tell me if I had shorter hair, I'd get less time?" And she says, "Yep." And so ever since then, rarely do I cut my hair because
Because you
if my
deserve
hair
more
is short,
time.
then I get less time for my staff. But
I love it.
I say there's something wrong with that because everybody should be able to have their hair however they want it.
That's true. I like it. But that explanation of why was really
Yeah.
stood out for me.
Well,
Hold on. We're gonna-
okay.
Okay. Now, Andy, I didn't know you too well. And what I did know of you was that you sort of grumbled and grumbled about your job. Usually about a supervisor. And then